44% of restaurants miss their labor targets. And here's the kicker. Every server you lose costs you about $1,000, maybe more. Good training cuts down on both time and money. It gets staff ready faster and keeps them around longer. I talked to Melanie Azzola from Opus Training, and she walked me through an approach that's working right now. Blended learning with microlearning. In this video, I'll show you a 5-day onboarding plan that uses 70% hands-on training, 20% manager coaching, and 10% micro lessons to get servers on the floor faster and ready to actually do the job. You can also grab a free copy of the server onboarding plan in the description box below. But first, you've got to know what you're optimizing for. Melanie Azzola is the Associate Director of Customer Success at Opus Training. She's got over a decade in restaurants and training, plus a master's in instructional design. She told me something that stuck. Know who you are as a business and what you care about. Know what you're optimizing for. Then write goals that match your identity. So what does that look like in practice? A speed-driven lunch cafe might teach servers to turn tables quickly, greet within 30 seconds, recommend 2 popular menu items that are quick to make. Scripts are short and repeatable. An upsell-focused bistro, they might want servers to suggest a dish with a wine pairing and mention dessert. Speed still matters, but they're optimizing for experience and average ticket size. The next step is to decide what must live in a server's head and what they can reference on the fly. If your trainee could only memorize 10 things this week, which ones would actually drive guest satisfaction and reduce comps? Things like core steps of service, greeting and recovery scripts, and allergy disclosure, these belong in their memory. Specials, deep wine notes, HR policies, those can stay somewhere they can access on shift. And it's even better if they can check these on their phone instead of rifling through a back office binder. So why break training down into 70% hands-on, 20% manager coaching, and 10% microlearning? Because managers tend to default to big binders, lectures, and endless checklists. That overwhelms new hires. People forget what they don't use right away. Azzola puts it perfectly.
We are asking people to be good students, not to be good at their job.
Digital training and reading time shouldn't exceed 25 to 30% of overall training. The floor is where 70% of the training should happen. Trainees shadow other servers. They trail orders in the POS, run food, pre-bus and reset tables. They practice check presentation until it feels natural. Managers keep 20% for coaching and save 10% of your training for microlearning. Azzola explains it like this.
Microlearning is all about sequencing the knowledge that you need to receive in small little bite-sized chunks so that you're not being overwhelmed with too much information all at once.
You can do this with short videos or by using a mobile-first LMS like Opus Training. For example, a 5-minute POS tutorial that covers ordering, modifying, firing, and paying. A guide to the top 10 menu items with common mods and callouts. An allergy lesson that shows disclosure, kitchen comms, and expo checks. Tip out rules with 2 quick examples so the cash out is accurate. Host these somewhere that servers can easily reference, like a Google Drive folder or an app, whatever works. And consider sprinkling them in as refreshers throughout their first few months. With that foundation in place, the next step is to simulate the hard moments before they happen on the floor. If you're enjoying this, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more practical advice for running your restaurant. Scenario-based training puts servers under light pressure where mistakes don't cost a table. Run a role play. Here are some sample situations. First, a guest that's irritated about their late food. The trainee addresses them within 60 seconds, uses the apology and recovery script, checks the ticket status, and updates the guest. Second, an allergy disclosure with a kitchen handoff. The trainee repeats the allergen back, enters it correctly, confirms with Expo, and verifies the plate before delivery. Third, an ID refusal. The trainee declines service, cites policy, and calls a manager if needed. Fourth, voids and discounts. They process the adjustment in the POS, reprint, and return to the table with a brief explanation. Fifth, split checks with modifiers. They cleanly split the bill and close out without errors. Now let's tie it all together and look at a sample 5-day training program. Day 1 is why we exist plus safety. Cover the house values, the top 8 allergens, and hand washing. Have servers shadow the greet and seat flow during the first hour. Roleplay a scenario where a guest declares an allergy at a table. Verify that the server can follow the allergy protocol end to end. Day 2 focuses on order flow and POS basics. Cover the top 10 menu items and their most common mods. Shadow during a slower window to enter live orders with a trainer. Run a role play to upsell one item, then handle a simple mod. Add context so mistakes matter. During a slow period, ring in 2 test orders and walk them to the kitchen to see how a wrong mod delays the line. Test that they can ring in 3 tickets with no errors and split a check. Day 3, build service recovery and de-escalation. Cover apology scripts and comp policies. Role play an incorrect dish and a long ticket time. Verify that the server can correctly follow the steps to de-escalate the situation. Day 4 is speed and sections. Cover table numbers, runner paths, and payment types. Shadow closing checks and watch Expo pace fire times. Verify that the server can manage 2 tables under supervision and hit timing targets for greeting, drinks, and check drop. Day 5 is a readiness check. Have the server own a small section with a spotter. They pass if they nail the safety steps, order flow, payment handling, and use de-escalation when needed. If they slip in an area, retrain that lesson and try again next service. But training shouldn't stop at 5 days. Keep developing your team past the first week and even the first month. For the first 30 days, focus on consistency. Do micro lessons on top allergens and a few new menu details each week. Have them shadow different roles, like spending an hour with Expo to watch ticket flow and see how modifiers, misfires, and holds affect the line. From 31 to 60 days, build advanced sales and section management. Teach suggestive selling by guest segment. Families versus date nights versus business lunches. Run a double sat scenario to practice timing. Verify their success with numbers, average check lift over a week, or consistent course timing. From 61 to 90 days, layer in cross-training and leadership training. You might cover host stand coordination and a basic bar handoff, so they can communicate accurate weights and manage drink timing. Cross-training has financial benefits. Employees who can work multiple roles help keep labor costs in check. Have them train a new hire for an hour. Teaching solidifies their own process. In summary, teach the essentials first. Make the rest easy to find. Build your plan now. Get your free copy of the server onboarding plan below and tweak it to match your business. Write a 5-day timeline with 1 measurable objective, 3 scenarios to verify, and short refreshers that staff can easily reference. Make team development a habit, not a one-off. Isola recommends iterative training with a refresh every 6 to 12 months, so your content stays current as your menus, tools, and processes change. What's the most common thing your new servers struggle with? Let us know in the comments. Thank you to Melanie Isola for sharing her advice for this video. Opus Training is a digital training app for hospitality workers with over 100 languages. Learn more about Opus and connect with Isola at the links below. If you learned something useful, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more advice from real restaurant people.